Marauders, welcome back to the channel. Snow has hit western New York. I don't think this is gonna, you know what? It is beautiful, isn't it? Let's give you a shot. I'm behind. The tractor isn't set up with a snowblower, and I delayed in getting the loader off the tractor. I'm hoping the ground isn't too soft to support the tractor. I really don't want to rut up my lawn. Setup scenario and remove the loader from the tractor and also the rake, yard rake on the back of it. So let's start getting this thing ready for winter. So the steps that I have to do, and I've done it in other videos, but I'll just talk you through it quickly. I have to remove the grill guard. I have to remove that, and I store that up on that top shelf. And then I take down from that top shelf the bearing housing and support, which supports the drive shaft from the mid-mount PTO here. I have to mount that. And to do that, I have to loosen the front bolts that hold the frame together to fit that bearing support in. Then I have to install the lifting arms, which actually lift up. They extend out about 2 feet and they lift up the snowblower. And the drive shaft from the mid-mount PTO here through the bearing assembly, the bearing housing up here, and then the drive shaft from the snowblower will insert that. And it's going to be a messy job because the snow is melting on it, the tractor is loaded with dirt. I'm not looking forward to it. So let me get to it and I'll show you the end result and I'll explain it. Wow, was that loose? I lost the washer on this side. I pulled it out too fast. I forgot there was a washer between the grill and the mount. Gotta try to find it on the floor. Well, I found the washer. Okay, so I found the washer. There it is. I put things back together when I remove them, when I'm putting them into storage. That way I have all the bolts on the part accessory when I'm installing it back on the tractor. That's how I like to do it. I've never lost a part to this tractor doing that. And I've been doing it on tractors for over 25 years. Now I have to get the ladder out to get up on that top shelf, which is not fun, and carry the grill up the ladder, but I have to bring down the drive shaft, the bearing housing, and the lifting arms. None of those which are light, especially at my age. Okay, to get this bearing assembly, the bearing prop shaft carrier in, to get this in and bolted up, and it goes right about here. These two bolts line up with those two openings. I have to loosen 8 bolts, 4 on this side, another 4 on this side, and then I have to loosen this bolt. It's much easier to do that, or it doesn't fit up in there as well. I have to wrestle with it. So it's easier just to spend 2 minutes, 5 minutes loosening those bolts and then putting the assembly in. So there's also this main cross member here, and there's, in addition to loosening these 4 bolts, I loosen the 2 bolts, 19mm bolts, here and here on each side, and that really relaxes the frame. So I have to tighten these back up. See it moving back in, especially this one. And then there's 2 on the other side, and then I tighten these 8 bolts back up. Okay, fighting diabetes now, getting a little tired. So before I put the drive shaft in, I grease the universal joints. This is a great tool. If you don't have a cordless grease gun, I highly recommend this Milwaukee M18 cordless grease gun. There's a ton of different manufacturers out there that have them. If you have a lot of equipment, highly recommend it. Now let's install the drive shaft. Now these 2 bearings have to line up for the hexagon drive shaft to go through. So what I do is eyeball it the best I can, and put the flat spot down. Okay, so that looks pretty well lined up, if you can see there. And then I'm also going to spray, I'm going to spray that with lithium grease. I'm wearing my favorite pair of jeans, and they're dirty already. So let's see. Let me see if I can get that drive shaft in there. Oh boy. Flatten it out here. Oh, she's in. Okay, she's in. We're headed into the home stretch. The PTO shaft on the mid-mount PTO, which is sometimes a wrestling match. She's on. Oh, I have to hook up the hydraulic hoses to the cylinder that raises and lowers the snowblower. And I tuck them up here in the machine. These hoses are nearing the end of their life. Oh, okay, I'm tired. Headed into the home stretch. These are the lifting arms, which get inserted into this gap here, and these blind pins get put in, like so. And this, let's say, locking clevis goes on the back side of it and locks them in. I'll see if I can show you this. It's a pretty neat design, but hopefully you can see this. Oh, did I look? Okay, the lifting arms are installed. I'm worn out. I think I'm gonna push through and put the blower on, and then bring it inside, let it sit, have lunch, and then wash the tractor. This was probably, I'm lucky if I don't rut up my lawn today. I think I'm good. I think there'll be shallow ruts, but it's pretty wet. Wow, okay. I bought a county line log splitter. Probably the most famous log splitter on YouTube. I built this, I never posted the video, although I should. I built this out of a pallet, a rack or carrier to move the snowblower around with forks. It's so awkward and top heavy that it's not easy to move around. Lifting it with forks with this pallet makes it much easier. All right, let's get this thing inside. What a day. By the way, I'm probably a little over 2 hours doing this. Oh boy, I'm glad I got her on today. I don't think I had another day to do it. It's pretty. I am in four-wheel drive, and definitely the front end is sinking down more with the blower on the front of it. I'm lucky when we get our first frost, it may lift those ruts out of the lawn. I may get lucky. It's a relief to have the snowblower on the tractor. Last thing I have to do is hook up the hydraulic lines that pivot the chute. Okay, she's zip tied in a couple spots. I don't know what we did before zip ties. Now I'm going to clean her up. I get a lot of questions about the strobe light I used, and I bought this at the place that does our hydraulic work, and it's an SWS strobe light. You can search that, and it's made in North America, it says, and it has like 30 different functions on it. Now it has a suction cup bottom, which does not get it. It really doesn't stay on that well with that. So what I do is it still slides around. Even though it's sucked on there, it will still slide back and forth. So what I do is I put some Gorilla Tape, 4 pieces, to hold it from smushing around, and that seems to work. And I always leave it on in the spring for some reason. Don't ask me why. Forgetfulness, maybe. I'll leave it on in the spring, and a tree branch will catch it and drag it off. And it's amazing this thing has lasted this long. That's the strobe light. And again, I'm not driving, the tractor's not driving, 50 miles an hour down the road. It's going 5 miles an hour, 0 to 5 miles an hour around my driveway in the neighborhood. So that's the strobe light. An explanation's overdue on that. I do use a product, Diesel Clean. It says it cleans dirty injectors, boosts power, increases miles per gallon, reduces exhaust emissions, effective in biodiesel blend. I use this on all my diesel engines. I thought it had a little anti-gelling solution in it, but it doesn't say that. Might have to buy something for that. I also use Sta-Bil fuel stabilizer, or some type of brand in all my fuels, gas and diesel, to prevent moisture from getting in the fuel. Again, I'm not an expert. This is what I do. So please don't think I'm telling you what to do. This is just what I do, and you can take it for what it's worth. That was an in-depth look at how I prepared to get this machine ready on November 13th, 2021. This snowblower is probably not the best snowblower as far as throwing it the furthest. It's 59 inches wide. I'm sure other tractors in this category may have a wider blower. I know Coyote does. But this snowblower is like the standard, industry standard for years and years and years. And this is over 20 years old, the snowblower. I've had it on 3 different tractors. 3 different tractors. Amazing snowblower. And of course we know the tractor's amazing. Let's take a look around. Everything is greased, all the U-joints on the snowblowing drivetrain. See the lifting mechanism. The interior was really dirty. Moved a lot of dirt this year. Cleaned up the interior of the cab. Wiped down the windows. So she's ready to go. One thing interesting, you know, I forgot to fix a tail light. I have a problem from last year. I have to fix this tail light. I forgot that. I did replace, and you know, it's a real inexpensive bulb. Maybe I'll pull that tomorrow. I did put LED lights on, the work lights. LED work lights, and I replaced the headlights with LED lights. So really a crisper light. More of a white light than a yellowish light, and it makes a nice difference. Some of you have recommended that. So she's going to sit outside for the next couple weeks. I think we're going to get this snow that really doesn't stick. I can't drive her across my lawn because she'll rut it up. And that's it. Marauders, thank you for tuning into the channel. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider thumbs up and sharing it with a friend, and I hope you consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you and God bless.